what's PuckChamp's anchor point going to be here? Because they've got the slow coming out from the Enchantress and the X-Marks support from the Kunkka. But, you know, the amount of AoE that comes out with the bow, with the Dawnbreaker, again, the Solar Guardian coming through, being able to go in with Starbreaker as well. But it doesn't seem like they have that kind of, if they hit a choke point fight, you know, that's going to keep Team Empire caged in. Or, again, I go back to the Mars because he's just so prevalent in the meta, or he was, you know, coming up to the season, that he just seemed to be in every single game. So, what do PuckChamp have here? Okay, Bane, that's going to be some decent catch on the Puck. You know, the control comes out with the Fiend's Grip. But is this enough from PuckChamp, do you think, coming up against Team Empire that are very... I want to say mobile, with the Puck, the Cookie coming through from the Snapfire, the Juggernaut obviously being able to spin away from most things, you know. Is this enough here for PuckChamp to say, if we get a good catch out onto Team Empire, we can take this fight?
I think so, because the thing is, Team Empire, as we mentioned, Viper is a pretty mobile hero. I think with this Bane now being picked up, that you might want to switch the Viper in position 5. The reason for that is because PuckChamp now, they have really big mobility. Dawnbreaker on one side of the map, Kunkka pushes out quite nicely, Enchantress creeps, she always gets deep into your jungle as well. So and then you have so much space for the Bane to catch people, and there's the Dawnbreaker. If one more hero is around it, you have 3 versus 1, you get a kill. So you don't really want to have an immobile hero that you are very keen on defending right now if you're Team Empire. That's how I would look at it. So PuckChamp, you know, it's not like this is really good lockdown that they have for the side of Team Empire, but the thing is that they have really good heroes to spread the map, and then these heroes are really good at catching. I would have rather wanted to see something like a Shadow Shaman, but Bane is just a bit of an easier hero to catch people with if you have no items. So I think that's what PuckChamp were gunning for. Even if the Bane doesn't have a good time, he's still gonna get a couple of levels in the Nightmare, and will be a good setup for whomever on the side of PuckChamp will be joining in.
Okay, and looking at this as well, it looks like it's going to be the Dawnbreaker core. So, are you seeing this against the Juggernaut? You know, do you want to be putting the Dawnbreaker in that lane, or are you seeing this Dawnbreaker as more of a one coming out for PuckChamp?
I'm okay with it laning against the Jugger. When you have a high HP hero against the Jug, you can usually survive the spin. I think that it's gonna be decided once they see where the Viper is, if you do want to lane the Dawnbreaker against the Viper Juggernaut, because once they hit level 3 on the Viper and the Juggernaut, if this is the lane for Team Empire, there is a chance that the Dawnbreaker can die, and I'm not sure you want to be going that route. You do have an Enchantress. If it is a position 4 Enchantress, you can harass the Juggernaut enough that he can't really go for the aggressive play. We'll see what they do, but overall I think PuckChamp don't have to make that decision quite yet.
Yeah, and again, from the side of Team Empire, you know, like you say, the Viper can still flex, but do you think, again, the Puck is enough control? Because you've got to be looking at stuns maybe for the Bane coming through once he starts to get that Fiend's Grip up, you know, maybe cancel that's not just damage. You know, you've got the Enchantress. If you can't right-click it down, in fact, it is up with the Nix. Okay, so Harry, pat on the back for that. You know, you came up with it at the very start of the draft, and Team Empire, they're obviously listening. They've heard it, and they've taken your advice.
The problem I see with Empire's draft when they have a Nyx is that you can't take down towers. That is why the Nyx isn't being picked that much, because you need a lot of damage with him, which obviously Team Empire have. Look at the damage. Puck, Viper, Snapfire, you don't get much more than that. Even the Jugger helps in that regard. But the thing is, Nyx needs the towers to fall. He needs them to fall really early on so that you can make aggressive plays. If that's not the case, you're just going to be playing around the Viper at all times, which might not be too bad. But it isn't the optimal way you want to play this hero. With the Nyx, this hero is really good with farm, and you know, he can be really good on the aggression. If you're always just defending a hero, you get neither of those. Either way, though, I'm liking what Team Empire have. I'm just afraid that there could be a tri-lane for PuckChamp to start things off, and that Chachalo doesn't even get to play the game at the start. That is the thing I'm afraid of only for Team Empire, but I think they have a good lineup with them.
Would you then, if you need to be taking these towers, and it is a core Viper as well, so he's going to have not the best farm priority, you know, but he's slapdash right in the middle here for this Viper. Would you consider, in this scenario, I'm not saying it's every scenario, but in this scenario, would you maybe consider going for the Ag Shard on the Viper fairly early on?
When I say towers, I do believe pre-minute 15, you know, because that is when the supports really struggle at buying multiple sentries. If none of your towers have fallen with 1-2 sentries, you're covering every single opening to your jungle, and the Nyx can't get over. If the towers fall pre-minute 15, the mid lane tower and the enemy safe lane tower, then then the map is hard to cover for the supports. Either they're gonna be very, very poor, or their cores are gonna be struggling in terms of farm. But if it's a Viper's item that I would be looking here for sure, he needs a BKB. I think a early BKB here for the Viper would be the thing that would allow Team Empire to play properly, because again, he's gonna be in front and you want the counter initiation. If the Viper dies before you get all of those spells off, he doesn't get anything off, it's gonna be a bad fight for the side of Team Empire. But still, PuckChamp, I think they're coming into this series like a big favorite, and I do believe that their lineup is much easier to play. So I'm not sure if I would feel comfortable enough saying that the Team Empire can win this. I mean, they obviously can, but it's gonna be a tough one for sure. It's a hard draft to make work.
And with the Chaos Knight coming out as well, you know, you've got yourself 3 big strength heroes on the side of PuckChamp. Obviously the Chaos Knight was a reveal that came last, so Empire wouldn't have known it was coming. But even with the Kunkka, the Dawnbreaker being out, well, you preferred something like, you know, a Phoenix or even maybe I'm not sure if the Zeus was banned out, but that does like this percentage-based health damage, you know, that would have been able to deal with these strength heroes.
They're gonna get BKBs. It's not gonna be that great, especially because you don't have any hard lockdown that goes through BKB. So I'm happy with the pick from Empire. As I said, Empire's pick looks pretty solid. The problem is that you can it's gonna be hard to actually pinpoint what PuckChamp need to do. If this was a really good like tier 1 team playing Empire's draft, I would really be looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to see how well they can do, but they just haven't been looking so hot lately.
Okay, well, we'll see how this is going to play. There is going to be the rotation behind from Roger as well as Mark. It looks like they want to try and snatch this rune here. BZZ in the river. Going to be backed up by most of his teammates. The Viper does go already towards that top lane. The Cookie comes out, though. Going to be able to get the stun onto the Enchantress. Body blocks here for the Juggernaut. He does have that spin, but the heal comes out from Roger pretty much straight away. And it looks like Roger going to be able to prance his way out of danger here. No real risk to him. Again, the spin from the Juggernaut didn't come out right as the Roger got body blocked by Jesu. So it looks like, again, he just pops those heals. Okay, they're going to force out on cooldown, but it's not the biggest cooldown in the world. It's still going to be 13 seconds away. It's a little bit of mana, but earlier on, the Enchantress doesn't really need that mana unless he's going to go for the points into Impetus. Do you think he's actually, because he's got the Blightstorm coming through as well, do you think Roger here wants to go for the Impetus, or is it going to be the enchant into another point into the Nature's Attendants first, do you think?
We're seeing the camp is being blocked. I think he's gonna be looking at what the camp spawns. I think that's the idea behind it. If you have a good small creep to take over, I think you're gonna be more than happy to take it with the enchant.
Okay, well, BZZ is going to be taking a lot of harass here coming out from Roger, just from the right clicks alone. So Enchantress is going to push BZZ back, and again, the heal is back up, so he's going to have the favor on that trade if they do continue to go here. BZZ, though, with the Cookie at level 1, so there's not going to be that little shredder, not that point for harass. In fact, Jesu is going to go for the spinner. He's going to go for it now. They're going to try and go with the Nature's Attendants. Not going to be able to get the heals off from Roger. Not going to be able to get that to that small camp for the deny there on the neutral. So the first blood does go the way of Jesu, so a good positive start here for Empire.
Weird that they managed to get on top of the Enchantress. It was just a nice bluff coming out from Empire. Like, we're not going for you, and then they strike. The idea of this lane with the Enchantress is just harass with the Snapfire and allow the Dawnbreaker to be 1 versus 1 against the Juggernaut, because then the Juggernaut can't really threaten Malek's life, and he's going to be able to get a decent amount of farm, which we do see is the case for now.
And in the mid lane, just swapping over to the lanes, we can see Youngkey taking a lot for us coming up from squad. The Puck's having a really good time in the Eastern European region at the minute. You know, what is it that makes this hero just so good currently in this current meta?
The hero has been good for quite some time, and the some other heroes that that do well against him, let's say like the Void Spirit, are just not that popular right now. Also, people are kind of staying away from like a Lion, a Shadow Shaman. Even though we see a Shadow Shaman from time to time, it's not really picked that often. So I think with that, it leaves the Puck to be free. Plus, in Eastern Europe, Puck has always been a big hero, you know. This is just what happens. No one is awesome on the Puck. Dandy used to be awesome on the Puck, and you do have to assume it's gonna mean that younger generations are just gonna love the hero.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye on Squad as well. See how well he's gonna do against Young G, because he is leading the last. It's only by about 4, but it's still you know. A good start here for the Puck up against Kunkka, that with the Tidebringer coming out usually does have a massive impact in this lane, and it looks like Squad's coming out on top 4 now, but as that cooldown gets lower on the Tidebringer, maybe it's going to suffer, so we'll flick back, keep an eye on. But over in the top lane, well, we see James coming through, not going for the mana burn. He's going to be going for the impale into the Spike Carapace here. Even going to be able to deny his own ward, because it looks like Dakaos with the pull through, so he wants to be able to pull that creep wave next time these neutral spawns. And how does it, because Nyx, again, not the most popular hero in the world, so how does this lane go with the Viper, with the Nyx Assassin, up against Dakaos, up against Krillia, with this Chaos Knight? Because Chaos Knight, before the past month or so, was a tier 1 carry, and then seemed to drop off a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit though. He is still being picked quite a lot. The lane goes, you try to not get a lot of experience with the Nyx, which James hasn't done. I think he should have harassed with the Bane quite a lot, and then you get level 3 on Viper early, and then you start going forward. This is what you want to do in this lane, ideally. James obviously didn't go for the mana burn. It's too big of a mana-hungry spell. And the thing is that no one is really giving you too many sticks. So when that is the case, you're usually going to be dodging the mana burn. Plus, CK is a pretty dumb hero, so it's not like you're going to be taking away a lot of his mana.
Well, mid lane, there is going to be the rotation here from Roger to get some harass on. He's got the Wild Wing Ripper. The Squad X is going to be able to clean up here. Roger going to be taking a couple of tower shots, level 3, so he's actually going to go for the 2 points into the enchant, 1 into the Nature's Attendance here, as the orb does fly through, but the fortification is going to be used. So it's going to allow Young G as well as Roger to put more pressure onto this tier 1, and it looks like as this is going on, you know, you can see Squad, he's trying to farm up these creeps as they come in, but Dawnbreaker's not too scared about the rotation away from the lane here by Roger. Jesu continues to farm, but he does have the Celestial Hammer, 2 points in that as well, so he is going to be able to get himself away if the danger comes, and again, it would have to be a cookie, so the quick fingers there from the Dawnbreaker should get him out of danger here. X marks the spot onto Squad. Do they want to come right back into this? He's going to be able to get the phase shift off now as well. The damage coming through from the Tidebringer though. Is he going to be able to get himself away? There's going to be the whirlwind pack from Roger, so they do get the kill, and Roger claims this one. And BCZ going to try and do his best to defend this. The Wild Wing Ripper will go down.
That was a classical forced error coming out on the Puck. You know, the thing is, you know that Roger is there, and you want to get your level 6 earlier than the Kunkka, then for your supports to rotate. But the thing is, you got low enough, and you just couldn't survive through all of it. If you survived, the coil comes out. There was a chance that they could be doing something, but right now, PuckChamp are just doing awesome every single lane. The thing is, you cannot punish the Dawnbreaker any longer, and this pressure in the mid lane is just gonna continue, especially now when Young G has the boat. It's just not gonna be that easy to bring him down any longer. And PuckChamp, they're even bringing in the Bane.
Yeah, there's gonna be the rotation run. Level 3 onto the Bane now as well. He might have tried to go for the Nightmare onto the Squad, but it's gonna back up BZZ underneath this tier 1 as well, trying to do the best he can, throwing some harass onto Dakaos. There is gonna be the cookie coming out onto the Bane though. They do want to try and follow up onto this with the orb. The bow's gonna come through with that turn as well, but with the Spike Carapace, it's gonna be deflecting some of that damage. But he will still get the kill. Dakaos goes down. BCZ picks that one up. And Squad, he can now try and restabilize this lane because Roger moves into the jungle. He lost the tomato, so he wasn't able to have the full effect of the Enchantress on that tower push there when the gank came in. The tier 1 tower does still stand. How important is this tier 1 tower here for Empire?
Very important because it's important for you to keep it alive until the Snapfire gets level 6, because then you're not gonna feel too confident if you're a Kunkka or anyone on the side of PuckChamp to go over, because you're gonna die. But before that, we're gonna be seeing an action on the top lane. Finally, they want to be aggressive with this Viper.
Yeah, Ducalis is going to be taking a lot of harass. The Nightmare does come out onto the next assassin, but Empire is still going to be able to get the kill through Sashlo. And it looks like the bottom lane TP is going to be coming in. Roger, though, do they get the slow? BCC, the cookie comes out. So they're going to be able to go into the Enchantress Jess, who's only level 5, doesn't have that Omni Slash just yet, but there will be the TP away, nothing to cancel it, so Roger will be able to get himself out. Malik doesn't actually have a TP scroll. Is it on Courier? It is on the Courier, as well as a Clarity, but he's going to be fine in the trees. You know, just doing a little bit of camping here.
This is okay from Empire. They're not being too greedy to get some kills. They're just trying to defend the towers. I think for now that's the play, considering that your supports are really weak before their level 6s. They don't do that much. So the big problem though is that this mid lane tower is falling. I think the play maybe from Empire would be bring the Viper to the mid lane, but that's too much of an unconventional play, so it does make sense that they didn't go for it. But I think you needed to respond with a core rotation here. This is just too big for PuckChamp to get this so early on, especially when you have the Enchantress. And when it comes to Empire, killing the Enchantress, you don't do it without committing too many heroes. And now it makes the game really hard, because Roger is constantly going to be in their face, giving PuckChamp all the info that they need around the map.
Yeah, James, there is going to be a haste rune coming through here for the next assassin, so they might be able to go on to Roger. But James, Sashlo doesn't want to come too far forward, just backs himself up. Mid lane as well, you can see Young G, he's got that boat, he's got himself the double braces. In terms of net worth, if we take a look, he is going to be top of that net worth, going straight towards an Orchid. The next assassin though, going to be found out, the Nightmare does come through. Roger going to be able to set up with the Wildling Ripper as well as the damage coming through from the Enchantress. No points into the impetus though, so the Chaos Bolt comes out, but there will be the impale onto Curly. I just want to try and turn it around with a Viper Strike. Puck going to go for the TP in, but that's going to be the kill onto James. James will go down here. Curly claims that kill, and now the Solar Guardian comes out. All of the heroes on the side of PuckChamp pushing onto the Satchlo, going to go down there as well. Puck was able to get himself away, but this means that this is going to open up the lane because the Phantasm was used, so it's going to be some pressure onto that tier 1 as BZZ can get himself down with a cookie. There will be no follow-up, it doesn't look like. No, the torrent will connect, but was that follow-up damage? Roger's going to be close. Curly as well with the Reality Rift, going to be able to drag him in. One more right click, Roger will pick it up.
This is the thing. PuckChamp are using the timing where Empire are just helpless. You know, we are mobile around the map. We have taken down your mid lane tower. Roger is always gonna be there because it's just gonna be too easy to get on top of heroes. They have the Dawnbreaker to come over, and Empire, even if they would bring all of their heroes, they would be unable to fight. And with all of that, PuckChamp, they really didn't lose any time farming, because the CK was farming, Kunkka was getting some creeps, the Enchantress was hitting creeps as well, and you just came over there and immediately TP'd out to other lanes. So this is just beautiful for PuckChamp, how they're reading what Empire can do right now, and the answer is pretty simple. They can't do anything.
Yeah, and even the Hill Troll using his net to ensnare onto the Chaos Knight, and he still couldn't get the setup here. So the cookie comes out, but that's going to be the defensive one for BZZ, just to get him away from Krilliat, who was setting up for the damage with that Chaos Bolt. And the rotation's coming through from Bane as well. Bane, Ducalis only level 5. Is that the Tome? It is going to be the Tome coming out for the Bane here as well, so he's going to get that level 6 sometime soon. Going to be the TP coming through. They're going to be able to get the impale onto Krilliat though with that Viper Strike. Are they going to be able to get the kill onto the Chaos Knight? They're going to be able to take him down. Both the dry rack onto Satchlo. The Torrent comes through. He is going to be taken away now, and they're going to try and go further here. Bane might be able to set up James. He's going to be trapped in between two. The slow comes through. The squad rotates in. The Nightmare does come out onto the Puck though. Where they're going to be able to go with this. They've got the damage coming through onto the Bane. The Bane should still go down. Dream Call's going to be used, not catching on to Young G. So X marks the spot. Puck trying to get himself out of there, but he's going to be taken down. To Young G split that kill. And BZZ, I think, just has to walk himself away.
I think when the Viper dies, that Empire should never fight. You just don't have the constant output of damage. That is the case. The boat goes down, the Viper dies, there is no more chance of you getting the kill. Now when you have Mortimer's Kisses, maybe, but that is only if the Puck is there at the right time to get a good coil off. So a slight mistake coming out from Empire, kind of thinking they can do something, whereas their supports, they don't really do the damage unless you have those Mortimer's Kisses. Finally, their supports are level 6. You've lost a bit too much on the map, so I think right now the goal for Empire is take control of the bottom part of the map again. I'm liking that they have vision there, but it is gonna expire, so at least I would like a reward coming back to the bottom part of the map first, because on the top lane there's PuckChamp can just go on them over and over again. Both is ready yet again.
Yeah, and you can see how well that PuckChamp have worked this map. You know, they take down that mid-tier 1 tower, they take down the bottom tier 1 tower, even as there's a fight going on. So they completely won that fight, swinging the goal lead, 5k in their favour in the first 12 minutes of the game. In terms of kills, it looks fairly even, but I think Empire, you know, it's all been reaction kills. They've not really, apart from that one on Roger in the very early game, they've not really been able to set up for anything that's not, oh, you know, we have to fight this and maybe get some kills out of it. So how do Empire, you talked about taking the bottom part of the map down. In fact, James, he might see Decalis, but Decalis, they do have the sentry down. He walks just inside of it now as well. So there's going to be the boat coming through as well as the torrent. The cookie comes out to get him out of the boat's range. Spike Carapace is going to be used as well. But the Kunky Youngji still pretty strong and not really going to be fearing anything from that, really. But yeah, so they've chosen to force the tier 1 tower on the top lane here, protect the Juggernaut. The Juggernaut does have the Omnislash. He's going for the Battle Fury as well. How much do you like this for Empire? Is this going to be enough to maybe swing the game mid to late game in their favour? Or do you think he should be going for something a little bit more fighty so that Empire can react quicker to the aggression that PuckChamp have shown?
Jagger is a hero that can fight even with its Battle Fury. It's not that problem, especially if PuckChamp are on the aggressive. He can't be on the aggressive himself, but he's gonna be fine. You know, I'm okay with the Battle Fury. I'm a bigger fan of the Maelstrom, but he probably feels like he needs to be doing the huge amount of damage, especially physical, because magical damage just isn't gonna cut it this game. Everyone is gonna have a BKB on the side of PuckChamp.
Well, the cookie's gonna come out, so they are gonna be able to go onto Roger now as well. Roger's gonna try and use those 3 points into the Nature's Attendance to keep himself healthy. But the Vibe Strike is actually doing way too much damage. He is going to be taken down in revenge. Multiple kisses come out though. Malik, does he want to try and turn the Omnislash comes through, but Malik is pretty darn tanky, even walking through. So it's going to be shifted onto Decalis. Decalis going to be in a little bit of trouble here as the spin does come through from the Juggernaut. Even going to be slow coming through from that Scatter Blast. So now the damage coming through. James, though, he's in the invis from the Vendetta. Sees Malik. Has he changed targets? Does he want to be going on to Malik? Is he maybe just looking for a TP? He is going to be able to see it now as well. Does he want to go? No, just going to let Malik go back towards that tier 2, and James has to stay outside of the range as Youngji just continues to farm. He's got that Orchid up, he's got the Phase Boots, double bracer, so pretty tanky, and a decent amount of damage to boot.
The thing there was that the boat was used. That's why they could do it. Oh, they have a Orchid on the Kunkka, but this is a nice response.
They're going to be able to get the double boat as well. The Spike Carapace does come through to stun up onto the Kunkka, but it looks like the book is going to go down. Yeah, he just instantly dropped the Chaos Bolt into the Reality Rift. The drive back onto the Snapfire Snap. One more right click. BZZ falls. James will follow. And that's going to be another 3 kills for pretty much nothing. In fact, now, did you want to go into Roche? Because they do have the medallion. In fact, it's a full Solar Crest coming out on the Enchantress. The damage coming through as well from the Chaos Knight. There's going to be a lot of that. They've got the Orchid on the Kunkka, so they are going to be able to step into this Roche pit. And look how quickly, at 14 minutes, how quick this Roche is going down.
And there's nothing that Empire can do about it. There was a nice thing that happened for them on the top lane, the Nyx not dying to the initial boat. And PuckChamp, I think now they understand that they should be using boat every single time on a more static hero. That's gonna be the Viper. You just commit everything to kill him, and then Empire cannot fight. I think they don't really need to be focusing the Nyx, even though Nyx Assassin in some games he should be your primary focus, a carry or a core, pops a BKB and just kills him. Not really the need in this game in particular, because it's not about Nyx countering your heroes, but it's about the Nyx enabling the other cores. If the other cores are dead, the Nyx pretty much doesn't do anything. So that's why you see this Orchid on the Kunkka. He didn't need to go the BKB first, with the game going well, and you kill the Puck. You have options. You don't have to kill the Viper first. You can kill the Puck as well. So the Viper is gonna need some time before he gets his BKB. I'm hoping he does disassemble this Dragonlance, because you do need that really early on.
They're going to be able to go to Roger again. Roger is just going to be taking a lot of damage. He does tick down, but again, the early warning system, you lose the support, but in the grand scheme of things, you would rather lose that support than have the rotation come through, maybe onto Krillia, maybe lose that Chaos Knight, or even the Dawnbreaker, who's getting up there in terms of net worth as well. Even, what's that, about 600 behind, 500 behind the Juggernaut now? So that is a really nice setup, though. Talking about losing Krillia, they're going to be able to set up onto the Bane. Ducalis, though, is he going to be able to get himself away from the danger? The Celestial Hammer comes through, so that's going to be the slow. And now the Phantasm. Do they have the drag back? Squad X is the one leading the line. It's going to be drag back, just blown up, not even a chance to get the phase shift off. Really good damage, though.
Wow, Empire knew they can't go up the hill there, despite having the war division. There's just no way you can do it, and in the end they still die. This is just not looking good right now. You have to run.
Yeah, Jessu's trying to get himself away. The cookie comes out from BZZ now as well with the spike carapace, so the damage from the Tidebringer does get that stun off BZZ, trying to get himself back, but he's going to be taken down. Doesn't even need the torrent coming through from the Kunkka. And James, what's he got? He's not got a lot of mana left. He's going to be setting up for another spike carapace coming through, so there's going to be the impel coming in, as well as that Omni Slash. Bounces over to Roger though. Do they have the damage to take him down? Young G will fall. Roger probably going to follow though with that Dream Call, keeping it in place. Now the chase is on to Decaus. Decaus, can he get himself away from this with that Brain Tap? It's going to be enough to keep him alive for a little bit, but does he have the Nightmare? He has that Fiend's Grip, but the impale once again, one more right click. Squad X will claim the kill, and nothing that PuckChamp could do. Empire being able to get a really nice fight, and even with the minimal amount of mana there, James still had a plan to get that initial stun onto the Kunkka.
It's still a fight on your part of the map. That was nice. This is what happens when you don't use the boat to kill a core. This is something that's always going to be the case. If it's not PuckChamp initiating and the Kunkka being initiated on, then it is going to be a chance for Empire to win a fight. But even though they won a fight, it's on their part of the map. So the question is, what will they do with this?
Sashlo just... he thinks he's safe, and all of a sudden Krilliat pops out of nowhere. Honestly, get the Jaws music in there, because that was just the perfect setup, and Sashlo just absolutely disappears.
Bottom lane.
Ooh, they're going to be able to go though. There is going to be the Fiend's Grip into the Solar Guardian. Roger rotates down, so Juggernaut is going to be able to get himself away from this one. Not with the Starbreak, it's going to follow up from that Fiend's Grip. The damage is going to be more than enough to take down Jessu.
This is the thing. You want that fight, but the thing is, what are you gonna do with it? You're not gonna be able to push towers, so that kind of leaves you. We need to push out the lanes and prepare for the next fight. In those pushing of the lanes, you cannot leave a hero alone, and they left 2 of their cores alone, resulting in deaths. And now there's gonna be even more, because James has gotten to a part of the map that just isn't his anymore.
Yeah, the Sentry Ward came out just at the right time. The Torrent to follow up onto this. One more right click. He doesn't have the Spike Carapace because of the silence, and Decaus to be able to claim that kill. PCZ might go down as well. The Celestial Hammer into the Starbreaker. The damage, yeah, there's going to be a nice Chaos Bolt, and Krilliat follows up with the crit and takes down BZZ, and this is going to lose them a tier 2 tower here, Empire, on the bottom lane.
This is the thing. It's still a very hard draft to execute, as we mentioned. The thing is, you have to be always connecting with your heroes. This needs to be a very fast-paced game for Empire, where you spread the map and then connect, spread the map and then connect, and never allow this catch from PuckChamp to do a lot. But it's doing way too much in this game. Thus, you see this 8k gold lead, and if you just follow the Callis, he's always gonna be on the other part of the map. Even though he doesn't have the Fiend's Grip, he wants to be setting things up. He wants to be forcing out TPs. Even if he dies in an aggressive position, it's still gonna be fine.
Yeah, and you can see here, Krilliat, he's got 20 seconds left on that Aegis. He's not even got tier 2 items yet, and they're pushing onto a tier 3 tower, and he's just so confident that he's not going to be picked up with the rest of the team around him. Obviously, the Soul Guardian comes up in the next second or so, the BKB up for the Dawnbreaker as well, going into the Blink Dagger, into that Desolator, and you look at the offlane Sashlo, he's got himself a BKB as well, going towards, I'm assuming that's going to be the Dragon Lance for the extra attack range. You're going to give him a little survivability there as well, but just focusing for the minute on Puck. Yeah, because he does have the phase shift for some survivability, the Blink Dagger there as well. But if he gets caught out in the Orchid, you know, what does he really do? Does he just have to rely on the rest of his team to keep him alive in these fights?
You have the Nyx Assassin. He needs to be scouting for you. You have to know every single time where the Kunkka is. That is the thing. If you don't see the Kunkka, you're not going in, because you will get silenced up immediately, and that is the end of the fight for Empire. If the Puck dies, he needs more. It needs multiple rounds of spells, especially in this scenario where you're behind. You're not going to be killing the enemies from the first round of spells. But first time, I like what Empire are doing. They go towards the top lane, they secure an area for them, and that is what you need to do. You need to be playing around your vision, but look at this. The Callis, he has been waiting on top lane for so long, and 7 Jessu will be in trouble yet again. This time around, though, Nyx is close.
Oh, the Fiend's Grip comes out, Solar Guardian into the bow, and this Juggernaut, once again, he's going to go down. He is just straight up dead.
When you don't see the Bane on the map, you just can't come to the wave without any of your heroes being close. That is a rule that Empire should abide by. We know that these guys, they did change their carries, so obviously 7 Jessu is not gonna be in good sync with the team, but I think this is something that he should know himself.
Well, and it looks like Young G. They're just setting up for another tier 2 tower. They have the catapult here as well. They've got the rest of the team around just to set up. They're going to be able to take this triangle away from PuckChamp as well, just to be able to set up and just make sure that even if Kunk is the only one hitting the tower, that he's got some protection offered. And he cleans through the creep wave like they're nothing now. Clearly, he has the Blink Dagger, the Echo Saber, he's got the Armlet, he's going back, you know, he's got himself the Hyperstone. Is that going to be an AC coming up for the Chaos Knight here? It is. Yeah, he's got it queued up.
That is the thing. Right now, the only thing that is left for Empire is for the Juggernaut to do enough physical damage. I don't think it's gonna be happening, but you do want to itemize for that. So that's why Kriliat is gonna be going for the AC. But right now, there's nothing that PuckChamp need to be doing on the map. It's on Empire to make a move, and they're just hesitant to do it. The thing is, if all of these BKBs stay 9 seconds on the side of PuckChamp, you're not gonna win a fight. There is no way. So I would like Empire, even if it would mean losing the game faster, just to try to make some attempted moves, because doing this is just gonna lose them the game once the next Roche is up.
Yeah, and look at this as well. Young G, PuckChamp are staying together. They're keeping themselves within arm reach of each other. So Young G, he's already picked up that gem 20 minutes in, just to make sure if the Nyx Assassin is going to try and engage, you know, going to try and scout out that they should have that catch.
7 Jesu top.
Jesu. It's going to be the Nightmare onto Satchel though. It's going to be toggled off, so Satchel comes back with the BKB, the sounds, onto the Bane. Can they do the damage to take him down with the Mortimer Kisses? It might be enough here. The Bane's going to get low. The Omni-Slice comes through as well onto Roger. Roger's going to try and get himself away with the Fall Staff, but he's going to go down. That's going to be 2 of the supports. Both supports going down on PuckChamp, and Jesu picks up the kill, so a little bit of a boost on gold there for him. The net worth's going to be nice. Malik going to try and come in with his own BKB. Going to be able to get the Starbreaker onto BZZ. BZZ might go down here. One more right click. They do claim this now as well. The Solar Guardian point blank, and the damage. Satchel going to be taking a lot of that. He's going to try and run himself away in the pig form, but can he get himself away from the Starbreaker? One more right click. They claim the kill. Squad XO looking to clean up. It looks like Squad, do they want to chase? The entire squad that's left wants to chase into this. The buyback comes through from BZZ. Jesu, the cookie comes out, not going to connect onto Kriliat. Kriliat doesn't have the BKB, but he is going to be able to get that blink off, and Squad X is going to be taking some damage, but they might be able to go into the Stormbreaker again. The Starbreaker does come through. He's going to try and TP. Did they have anything to cancel it? They absolutely do not, and that's going to be the Dawnbreaker getting himself out safe. So, what was that? A 3 for 2 and a buyback on BZZ, as well as a tier 2 tower in the top lane there for PuckChamp.
It's still only the supports that you killed, and you started off the fight really well for Empire. I do like that they forced out the BKBs, but I think the plan after the supports were dead would have been great if it was just like, okay, let's force out their BKBs and back, and the Puck could have done that on his own. But Empire, they got a bit greedy still. It did get close there, but what was fun for sure to me is, you know, Jagger and the Dawnbreaker, they were fighting. At some point, they're like, okay, I'm gonna go TP to my base, you go TP to yours, and it's gonna be a draw for now. I don't think, though, Malik is going to be too happy with that going forward. So considering that his team is doing well next time, I think he'll be hunting this Juggernaut till death.
Yeah, and look at this. The Roshan is up once again. Phantasm's going to come out from Kriliat. He's going to have all 3 of those illusions coming through. And this Roche, again, the minus armor that's just burning away on the Roshan. He's going to go down. What's that? It's going to be like a 10, maybe 15 second a push Roche. And now the shard comes through as well for the Chaos Knight, so he's going to have that extra Phantasm that comes out with the Chaos Bolt. You know, he's got that Aegis for extra protection. There's only one tier 2 tower, but they are going to be able to find out the Bane. Jesu is going to be able to claim that kill. James going to be able to scout that one out. And I talked about sticking close to the Kunkka, and I think the Takalis did learn his lesson.
Well played for James right now. I would have wanted Empire to do this like from minute 10 to have good control of the bottom part of the map so that you can push out with one of your cores and the Nyx is somewhere in the vicinity, because yeah, you didn't open up the map, but the enemies will. So try to use that big area on the bottom lane where it's harder to spot the Nyx with the sentry wards. Finally, they do get a grab, and I'm so happy that they got something out of it. Obviously, they're gonna be losing all of their other towers, so you know, it's still not gonna be easy to play, but they still have this split push potential. You have the Puck, you have the Nyx Assassin, the Juggernaut is pretty fast hero. The problem is I don't really see a Viper having any more impact in this game.
Oh, James, Spike Carapace is going to come out, but I think the vision was broken on the Nyx Assassin, yeah. So they're just going to move him down to protect this tier 1 tower. And you can see as well that, again, Kriliat's just super confident. He might even be able to go into the Puck, because the orb is going to come out, so they know roughly where Squad is. Does he want to try and make a jump happen? He's going to be able to get the Blink Dagger, but the Waning Rift. or the Waning Rift comes out, gets that silence onto Krilliat. Dawnbreaker is around, they're going to be the wrong way with that Starbreaker, and Squad in the trees will be able to live
Nix
through
in
this.
the triangle.
And they're going to be able to get the catch out the boat. The Torrent going to be coming through here. Youngji gets that kill, even going to be able to get the D-Ward. Yeah, Youngji picking up a really nice kill onto James.
He bought a lot of time there, and with the Bane being spotted there for a second, it's gonna give some security to Squadix. You know, this is not one of the games where when you lose all of your other towers, the game is just over, because Empire's lineup is not a team fight lineup. They're this split pushy, we're gonna catch you, we're gonna farm type of lineup, so they definitely aren't out of it just yet. Is it gonna be a easy win? No. And is their Juggernaut dead? Well, yes.
Absolutely gets caught in the Fiend's Grip. The TP comes back from BCC, but all that does is get him caught, and the X marks the spot, and he's gone. Even the Orchid being used there to make sure he couldn't cookie away, but that will put it on cooldown for Squad, and they're going to be able to move themselves through towards this mid lane tier 3. But there will be the input coming through from James, but it looks like, again, he's 2.5 minutes on this Aegis. He's going to be going back for the Basher. He absolutely does not care. He's saying, come at me, bro. You have lost 2 heroes. They are dead for 40 seconds. No buyback here. Krilliat, he's not even popped the Phantasm just yet. He's going to go ham on this tier 3 tower if you let him. Fortification is going to be used. Great, so you need to wait for the next creep wave, which does buy time for the Juggernaut, for the Snapfire to be back up. But I think PuckChamp might be camping out here, as seen as the Nyx Assassin will go down. The Phantasm, if he wants to pop it as well. Now that the fortification has been used, this is going to be at least 1 lane of racks.
There was a cool play that the Callis tried to make. He slapped the creep that the Puck was attacking, hoping that Squad is gonna make a really bad mistake and click on it once again, but he didn't do it. Still, you know, we talked about Empire, they still have a chance, and just a second later, they're gone. The thing is that, you know, you do have this split pushy lineup, but with the Bane being picked, there's so much catch on the side of PuckChamp for those kind of plays, and that is exactly what opened up the base here for the side of PuckChamp.
Yeah, the cookie comes out, so they're going to be able to take down the Chaos Knight once. It looks like no Krilliat is going to be able to get himself away from this. There is going to be the Orchid now as well, but that is going to be the pop, as well as the Army Slash coming through. Malik tries to get himself away with that Solar Guardian. He still have the damage to take him down, though. James is going to be able to get himself in the face of Roger. Roger, the damage is going to be able to take him down. It looks like Roger not going to be able to get himself away from this, so he will go down. The boat flies through as well. Jesu trying to run himself away with the spin. The backlines, do they have to callous? They look like they might be able to take him, will be able to take him down. And it's just going to be the 2 big cores, the 2 strength heroes here on the side of PuckChamp. Do they want to go any further onto this from the side of Empire? Yes, the Force Staff comes forward, the slow comes out to Krilliat, and again, Krilliat, no BKB, so just relying on that Blink Dagger to get himself out. Will be able to get the Blink and TP away. Kunkka gonna do it the old-fashioned way. He's gonna hoof it and get himself maybe... Oh no, he stopped short just at the Haste Rune. But we'll go for that TP back to base to reset while the rest of the team do respawn. And losing it in the enemy's tier 3 racks area, you know, a fight like that, not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, but it still is a solid gold swing. And here's the thing, the Juggernaut just showed that he is becoming a problem. He's starting to do massive amounts of damage to the enemies, and you know, he could even kill the CK. This is the problem when you don't have a BKB. The problem, of course, now that arises for Empire is that they can't really get out on the map much, and Krilliat can farm his BKB as much as he wants. And PuckChamp, with all the map being open so much, you can choose wherever you want to go, and they want to go forward yet again.
Yeah, they're going to be able to find the Nightmare here onto the Nyx Assassin as the setup comes through. Do they want to go even further? In fact, they might have caught out onto the Juggernaut.
The
Juggernaut's going to go down. He was taken away. The Kunkka with the Hex there, the Scythe of Bites doing the work, and now the Force Staff. Krilliat finds the kill. And once again, the Juggernaut as well as the Snapfire find themselves out of this game for at least the next 40 seconds.
That's at least the second lane of racks. You know, every single time Empire get themselves out on the map, PuckChamp are just faster. This is the they were banging on this when they started playing this game, that they're gonna be able to catch Empire over and over again. That is exactly what happened, and all of it started with that mid lane tower going down. Roger being introduced to PuckChamp really changed them. They're looking so strong.
James gets blown up, Squad gets blown up. This Chaos Knight is just looking so powerful here with the Basher, the AC, the Echo Saber, these Phantasm illusions as well. And they know that there's no buyback because the Juggernaut as well as the Puck would have done it by now. So they're just going to win this game. Game number 1 at 30 minutes. The tier 4 towers will be falling, and I don't think Empire have the defense to defend this. They're going to try and go with the multiple kisses, try and do it with the count, but Roger again with those Nature's Attendants. The heals come through, the Fiend's Grip as well. The Cookie is going to try and bounce around onto the Viper. The Viper's just going to go straight down. They even get another kill onto the Snapfire before the game ends. And this buyback, yeah, it's going to be GG, well played. being called here from Team Empire's game number 1, 17-32, a full 5-man wipe before it ends, going the way of PuckChamp.
Cookies are just not good food for a snake. You need a mouse or something along those lines. But yeah, it's just not gonna work out this game for the side of Empire. We kind of expected it. PuckChamp came in as the heavy favorites, as I said, as Roger was introduced. PuckChamp started playing really, really well, and they're looking like they could be a Division 1 team. You know, it is quite hard for them to go further, given that they lost 2 series already. But they're definitely showing some nice plays here. Empire, as always, them and X3 are at the bottom of the pack and couldn't make it happen. You know, just the mid lane tower fell so early on, and for a team like Empire, who are not looking so good right now, to make a decision to bring the Viper to the mid lane or something, or maybe even the Juggernaut, it's gonna be hard to do. So I think PuckChamp, they did everything perfectly, and Team Empire's responses obviously just weren't good enough.
Yeah, and you can see here, like you say, PuckChamp, they just had that little bit of extra team coordination to come through, you know, to be able to get those quick replies on the fights. The early game, they started off finding those picks and made Team Empire respond, but we'll see how Team Empire respond in game number 2 as we take a quick 10 to 15 minute break, and we'll be back with game number 2 of Team Empire versus PuckChamp after the break. We'll see you guys then.